I wake up before the sun clears the mountains. I am alone, and that feels normal to me. The lake is very still. It looks like a piece of glass laid gently into the land. The air is cold in a quiet way, cold fall air that smells clean and thin. I breathe it in slowly. I breathe it out slowly. I stay like that for a moment, breathing, listening. I live here by the lake. I live here every day. My small home sits close to the water, not far at all. When I open the door, the ground feels firm under my boots. The prairie stretches out wide and calm. Beyond it, the mountains rise tall and white. They are always there. They do not rush. They do not change much. The sky begins to lighten. Soft blue turns into pale grey. Then a gentle wash of pink appears near the edges of the clouds. The sunrise moves slowly like it has nowhere else to go. I like that pace. I keep that pace too. I walk down to the lake's edge. My steps make a faint sound in the dry grass. The grass bends and then settles again. Everything settles again. The water makes a small sound as it touches the shore. It repeats itself. Touch, pause, touch again. I listen to it like a quiet rhythm. It never asks for attention. It is just there. I check the weather the way I always do, not with tools or numbers. I look at the sky. I feel the air on my face. I notice how my hands feel when I pull them from my pockets. The cold tells me enough. I go back inside and light the stove. The flame appears, steady and calm. I set water on to heat. I wait. Waiting is part of my morning. While the water warms, I stand near the window. I watch the light move across the prairie. The mountains catch the first glow. They look soft even though they are massive. Snow sits quietly on their slopes. It does not fall. It just rests. The kettle begins to hum, then it sings, low and steady. I pour the water. Steam rises and disappears. I hold the mug in both hands. The warmth spreads into my palms. I drink slowly. I always drink slowly in the morning. The taste is simple. The warmth is enough. After that, I step outside again. I like going in and out. Inside, outside, warm, cold. It feels balanced. I walk along the shore of the lake. I follow the same path I follow every day. My feet already know where to go. I do not have to think about it. A few birds move across the sky. They make soft sounds as they pass. They are not loud. They do not stay long. I watch them until they are gone. The sun rises a little more. The light grows wider. The lake reflects it all. Sky, mountains, clouds, light. Everything appears twice. Once above me, once below me. I pause and stand still. I stand still often. Nothing needs me to hurry. The wind moves lightly across the prairie. It brushes my jacket. It moves the grass in slow waves. The sound is faint and steady. I listen to it the way I listen to breathing. I think about the day ahead. There is not much to plan. That is how I like it. I will tend to small chores. I will move at an easy pace. I will return to the lake again and again. I always do. The morning continues to open. The cold stays gentle. The light stays soft. And I stay right where I am, letting the quiet repeat itself. I keep walking along the edge of the lake. The path curves slightly, the way it always does. I follow it without thinking. My body knows this place well. The water stays calm. Only small ripples appear now and then. They move outward and disappear. New ones take their place. I watch this happen again and again. The sun climbs a little higher. The light grows warmer, but the air stays cold. Cold fall air stays with me through the morning. I pull my jacket closer and feel steady. I stop near a smooth stone by the shore. I stop here every day. I bend down and touch the surface of the lake. The water is cold. It always is. I let my fingers rest there for a moment. Then I pull my hand back and wipe it on my pants. I listen. There is always something to hear. A distant bird, a soft wind, the quiet sound of water moving against land. None of it asks anything from me. After a while, I head back to my home. The door opens easily. It always does. Inside, the air is still. It holds the warmth from the stove. I hang my jacket in the same place. I set my boots near the door. I move slowly, the way I like to move. There is no reason to rush. I prepare a simple breakfast. Nothing fancy, nothing new. I slice bread. I heat a pan. I wait while it warms. Waiting feels natural here. The sounds in the kitchen are quiet and familiar. A soft scrape, a gentle sizzle. I listen to them the way I listen to the lake. They repeat, they settle. I eat at the small table near the window. I look out as I eat. The prairie stretches wide and open. The mountains stay still. The snow on them catches the growing light. I take small bites. I chew slowly. I pause between each one. The food tastes plain and good. It is enough. When I finish, I clean up right away. I rinse the pan. I dry it. I put it back where it belongs. Everything has its place. I like knowing where things are. I step outside again. The air meets me just as it did before. Cold, clear, calm. I take a slow breath, then another. I walk out onto the prairie this time. Not far, just enough to feel the open space around me. The grass moves softly under my feet. It bends and rises again. The sun is higher now. The light spreads across the land. Shadows grow shorter. The lake glows quietly behind me. I stand and look toward the mountains. They feel close and far at the same time. They never seem to change. That comforts me. I stay there for a long moment. Long moments happen often here. Time moves gently. It does not push. Eventually, I turn back toward the lake. I always return to it. It waits without waiting. The morning continues like this, walking, standing, looking, listening, breathing in the cold air, breathing it out slowly. Everything repeats in a soft way, and I move with it, calm and unhurried, letting the quiet keep going. I walk back toward the water again. The lake greets me the same way every time. Still, open, quiet. I sit on a low wooden bench near the shore. I built it long ago. I sit here often. The wood feels cool through my clothes. I do not mind. I rest my hands on my knees. I watch the surface of the lake. Light moves across it slowly. Clouds drift and pass. Their reflections stretch and soften. The sounds stay gentle. Water touching land. Wind passing grass. A bird calling once, then stopping. Silence fills the spaces between. I stay like this for a while. I do not count the time. I let it move on its own. When I stand up, I move carefully. My joints stretch. My feet settle on the ground. Everything feels steady. I gather a small bundle of firewood from beside the house. I carry it inside. The weight feels familiar. I set the wood near the stove. I like knowing it is there. I tidy small things. I sweep the floor. The broom moves back and forth, back and forth. The sound is soft and even. Dust settles. The room feels calm. I pause often. I pause between movements. I look out the window again. The sun has climbed higher, but the air stays cool. The mountains remain bright with snow. I make another warm drink. The kettle warms. It hums. Then it sings. Steam rises and fades. I sit again with the mug in my hands. Warmth spreads slowly. I sip. I wait between sips. The warmth lasts. Outside, the prairie stretches quietly. Nothing rushes across it. Nothing breaks the stillness. Even the wind moves gently. I step out once more. I walk the same path along the lake. My steps fall into a rhythm. Step, pause, step again. I notice small changes. The light angle shifts. The water darkens slightly. The air feels a little sharper. Fall makes itself known in quiet ways. I bend down and pick up a leaf. It is dry and thin. Its color is muted and soft. I turn it in my hand. Then I place it back on the ground. I keep walking. The shoreline curves. The lake widens, then narrows again. It breathes with the land. I stop and listen again. Listening is something I do often. I listen without searching for anything. Sounds come and go on their own. The day keeps unfolding, slowly, evenly, without asking me to do much. I move between the lake and my home, inside and outside, warm and cold, light and shadow. Everything repeats in a gentle loop. Nothing feels finished. Nothing needs to end. The quiet carries on, soft and steady as I stay with it. I walk back toward the house as the light begins to soften. The sun moves without effort. I move the same way. Inside, the room feels calm and familiar. The air is warm enough. Not too warm, just right. I prepare something simple for the middle of the day. I cut vegetables slowly. The knife makes a soft sound on the board. Tap. Pause. Tap again. I heat a pot and add water. I watch small bubbles form. They rise and disappear. I stir once. Then I wait. While I wait, I stand by the window. The prairie looks unchanged. The mountains hold their shape. Snow stays settled in place. The smell of food spreads gently. It fills the room without rushing. I breathe it in and feel settled. I eat quietly. No rush. No distractions. I look outside between bites. I feel the steady pace of the day. Afterward, I clean up again. I rinse. I dry. I put things away. I like when the space feels clear. I sit in a chair near the window. The sun sits higher now. The light is brighter but still soft. Shadows rest lightly on the floor. I sit without doing much. Sitting is part of my routine. I let my thoughts drift. They come and go like clouds. Outside, the lake stays calm. A few ripples appear, then smooth out. I watch that happen again and again. I stand and stretch slowly. I step outside once more. The cold greets me the same way every time. I welcome it. I walk along the prairie again. The grass whispers softly. It leans and rises back up. It does not mind being walked through. The sky remains wide. The colors stay gentle. No sharp edges. No harsh light. I pause often. I stop and look. I stop and listen. I stop and breathe. The afternoon settles in. It does not announce itself. It simply arrives. I return to the lake. I sit near the water again. The bench waits. The wood feels familiar. I rest my hands in my lap. I watch the water reflect the sky. Light shifts slowly. Clouds move without hurry. The quiet stretches out. It feels endless in a soft way. Time loosens. Nothing presses forward. I stay there, letting the hours drift. The lake stays. The mountains stay. And I stay too, moving gently with the slow, repeating calm of the day. The light begins to lower without much notice. I feel it more than I see it at first. The air cools just a little more. The shadows stretch longer across the ground. I stand up from the bench and take a slow walk back. My steps are easy. They fall into the same rhythm they always do. The path feels familiar under my feet. Inside, the house feels quiet and settled. I add a small piece of wood to the stove. The flame responds calmly. It does not flare. It just continues. I fill a basin with water and wash my hands. The water is cool. I dry my hands with a clean cloth. I fold the cloth and set it aside. I check a few small things. I straighten a chair. I smooth the edge of the table. I move an object back to its place. Each movement is slow. Each movement feels complete. I step outside again as the afternoon leans toward evening. The sky shifts into softer colors. Pale gold fades into muted blue. The mountains hold the light longer than the prairie does. The lake reflects the change. The surface darkens slightly. The light on it grows thinner, still calm, still steady. I walk the shoreline once more. I always walk it again before the day fades. The water meets the land the same way each time. Touch, pause, touch again. A bird crosses low over the lake. Its wings make a quiet sound. Then it is gone. The lake stays. I stop and stand still. Standing feels good at this hour. The cold deepens just a little. I pull my jacket closer. The sky continues to dim. The prairie becomes softer at the edges. Details blur in a gentle way. Nothing feels lost. I head back inside as the light thins. The door closes softly behind me. The stove glows faintly. The room feels calm and warm. I prepare a simple evening meal. The routine is familiar. The movements repeat. Cut, stir, wait. I eat slowly, just as I did earlier. The taste is plain and comforting. I pause often. I listen to the quiet between sounds. When I finish, I clean up again. Rinse, dry, put away. The pattern repeats. Outside, night begins to settle. Not all at once. Just a little at a time. I sit near the window for a while. The lake becomes darker. The mountains fade into silhouettes. The snow still catches a trace of light. I breathe in. I breathe out. The day loosens its hold. The house grows quieter. The land grows stiller. The lake continues its soft rhythm. I remain where I am, listening, breathing, letting the calm stretch on, slow and gentle, as the evening keeps drifting forward without asking for an ending. The room grows dim, without me changing anything. I let the light fade on its own. The stove gives off a steady glow. It is enough to see by. I sit back in my chair. The wood creaks softly. Then it settles. I settle with it. Outside, the lake is darker now. It holds the sky in a deeper shade. The water still moves gently. I can hear it, even when I cannot see it well. I stand and light a small lamp. The light is warm and low. It spreads softly across the room. Shadows grow long and quiet. I move slowly through the house. I check the door. I check the window. Everything is just as it should be. I wash a cup and set it upside down to dry. Water drips once, then again. Then it stops. I step outside for a short while. The cold air feels sharper now. It touches my face and hands. I breathe it in slowly. The sky is deepening. Stars begin to appear, one at a time. They do not rush into place. They arrive quietly. The mountains stand dark against the sky. Snow catches faint starlight. It looks soft and distant. I walk to the edge of the lake again. The shoreline is harder to see, but I know where it is. I have walked it so many times. The water sounds the same. That comforts me. I stand and listen. Touch. Pause. Touch again. After a while, I turn back. The house light waits for me. It does not change. Inside, I remove my jacket. I hang it carefully. I move with the same calm as always. I prepare for rest without hurry. I rinse my hands. I smooth the blanket on the bed. The fabric feels cool and clean. I sit on the edge of the bed for a moment. I listen to the quiet. The stove makes a soft sound. The house settles around it. I lie down slowly. The mattress supports me. The blanket warms as I rest beneath it. Outside, the lake continues. The prairie rests. The mountains hold their shape in the dark. I breathe in. I breathe out. The rhythm slows. The day does not end all at once, it just keeps softening. The quiet stretches longer, and I stay with it, letting the stillness repeat over and over as everything grows slower and gentler. I stay still for a while. The room holds its shape in the low light. Nothing shifts quickly. Nothing needs attention. My breathing settles into a slow pattern. In, out, in again, out again. The stove makes a faint sound as the wood settles, a small pop. Then quiet. Then another soft sound. I listen without thinking about it. Outside, the lake keeps moving. I know it does, even without seeing it. It always does. That feels steady. The air inside cools a little. I pull the blanket up just slightly. The fabric moves softly. Then it rests. I think about the morning, the light, the cold air, the first steps along the shore. The thoughts feel distant now, like echoes that are already fading. I do not try to hold on to them. I let them pass. They always do. The house makes quiet sounds as it settles into the night. Wood adjusting, air moving gently. Nothing sharp, nothing sudden. My body grows heavier in a calm way. The bed supports me evenly. My hands rest where they fall. My shoulders loosen. Outside, the prairie is dark and wide. The mountains stand still. The snow reflects faint light from the sky. Everything feels held in place. I breathe again. Slowly. Evenly. Time stretches. It does not pull. It does not push. It simply moves forward at its own pace. The sounds grow fewer, then softer, then quieter still. The lake continues its rhythm. Touch, pause, touch again. My thoughts slow with it. They repeat less. They soften. The night deepens gently. The quiet grows wider. And I remain here, resting, breathing, letting the calm carry on, slow and steady, without needing to arrive anywhere at all. I stay where I am. Nothing pulls me away. Nothing asks me to move. My breathing stays slow, in, out. The space between breaths grows a little longer. The room feels softer now. Edges blur. Sounds thin out. The lamplight feels warm even with my eyes closed. Outside, the lake keeps doing what it always does. Water meets the shore, then waits, then meets it again. The prairie rests under the open sky. The mountains hold their quiet weight. Snow stays where it is, calm and pale. The house settles fully. The stove grows quieter. The air rests in place. I feel the day drift farther away. Morning light, cold air. Footsteps by the lake. They return softly, then fade again. My body sinks deeper into the bed. The blanket stays warm. My hands stay still. Time loosens even more. It stretches. It slows. It becomes less important. The night holds everything gently. The lake, the land, the house, me. I breathe in. I breathe out. Again and again. Nothing needs to change. Nothing needs to end. The quiet keeps going, slow and even, like the water at the shore, repeating itself softly as the night continues on its own.